What's up guys, I'm in here and welcome to another train sim video. And we're back on my fictional route again. This time I finally released the next phase. So we're doing the full run up to Trentfield from Cromford Mill. Set up the train. This time I'm driving a class 158 East Midlands trains because I decided to switch up the liveries a bit. Oh yeah, listen to that. So yeah, we're just getting into the station. Brake nice and early this time. Open the doors. And I'll show you what's changed on the route. And I'll put a link to the route in the description. It's on the Steam Workshop. So let's get going. Lovely horn. So I decided to, because I wanted more options for scenario creators, I decided to add in some freight into the mix. As you can see on the map, you can see we're here. I decided to add a freight terminal at Cromford Mill, just on the hillside, and also at I've even got a depot here at Trentfield. Show you that later, and a mini freight siding I managed to fit into Hillbrook. So this side's not changed that much, but I have made some minor improvements here and there from Ashburton up to Trentfield. You can watch my first video on this route where I drive from Ashburton to Cromford Mill, but now we're heading up to the fictional cathedral city of Trentfield, and let me say, you'll all be in for a treat. So the good old viaduct views, might want to keep the windows open. Alright. Yet to get some views. Oh yeah. There's a freight terminal over there. Okay, we're going up to 50, but there will be a 90 speed restriction. This time we can go up to 90. I don't know if we'll be able to get to it fast enough before Lake Church. But we'll certainly get close to 90 on the last bit from Lake Church to Trentfield. So as you can see, I added a new branch line up here, leading to the freight area. This time I'm driving in summer, so you can see the full foliage. I've noticed in driving in winter or spring that a lot of foliage is actually missing. So I recommend, if you want to drive this route, I highly recommend in either summer or autumn if you're setting the season on quick drive. Yeah, I've kind of improved the foliage here and there a little bit. Even put some villages in the distance, if you can look out for them. Not here, that's just a farm. Kind of frozen a bit. Oh, there's a transmission change. Around 57 miles an hour on these units. Very popular units, the 158. They've gone all over the country, really. So I don't think there's much point in this 90 speed limit unless you're driving a Voyager on this route, I guess, because that's the only diesel train I know with good acceleration. There's a village in the distance. Try and look out for it when you're driving this route. So on the approach to Lake Church, this time it's a lot more complete, as I have now got it ready for release. If you've already subscribed to this on the Steam Workshop, it should update. If not, you can resubscribe to it and it will update. There's a 60 speed limit. We didn't really go that far past 60 anyway. There's a W sign. And I actually did put in the level crossings now. Told you I'd get it done, although there is still glitches with the traffic, like as you just saw there. I don't really know how to fix that. At this stage I just care about getting a fully drivable route. You clip through the vehicles anyway. The only things with collision files in this game are the trains and the tracks. There we are at Lake Church, and then it will just be a non-stop run to Trentfield City for the remaining six miles or so. Might be a good screenshot, yeah. So, retail park as usual, and more foliage, as you're about to see. There we go. Nice four-tone there. Okay, the traffic actually decided to wait here. So you'll be seeing varying countrysides. You've got mixes of forest and open countryside. It's not as hilly as it was back in Buxdale, but still good enough to be seen it. If you go here, you can see more villages in the distance. And Trentfield, I made it within the hills again because it's so much easier to build a settlement that's hemmed in with the hills, because then you don't have to put as much scenery in the distance. That's why both Ashburton and Trentfield are surrounded by hills and mountains. There's another village there, and a nice bridge for screenshots. There we go. We could say this one used to be served by a railway station, but it was shut down by Beeching Axe. So many villages and towns like that. Here the foliage isn't as great because I wanted to put more focus into building up Trentfield City and make it a really spectacular city that like the sort of city I want to visit. And that took quite a lot of time, so I just slapped down whatever foliage I could in a short space of time I had left after that. I haven't reached 90, but I think I got close to 90 in a 170, and the HST definitely went to. Alright, so we're down to 60. And we'll be heading down to 40 later on the approach to the city. So basically I thought of also having an electrified main line crossing this line. So yeah, this is a branch line, which is basically a cord which links it over to the main line at Trentfield West Parkway Station, and that's a nice park and ride. You can check that out if you drive this route. But we're heading towards the city, and there's a line heading to the depot. Well, from this side it's a freight terminal. I think I've slowed down a bit too much. But here we go, there's leading to the freight terminal, and there's the line to the depot. There's a flat crossing there, so that adds a nice challenge. Due to the space constraints, I had to do it that way. But the signalling actually works. I tested the freight scenario that I whipped up in literally 5 minutes, and that actually works really well. And there's the electrified main line I was talking about. I plan to extend this into an intercity main line in the future to fictional cities, more like bigger cities like Birmingham, Manchester, London sort of cities. So we've got a block. I'd have like Bloxwich on one end. That'll kind of be like a London Birmingham hybrid, and then Middleport to the north, which is more Manchestery. And here's a spectacular bridge leading to the city. You can see a couple of tower blocks down here. Very screenshot worthy. And this as well on the bridge. And there's a 3-spired cathedral. You can tell I based this off Lichfield. But it does seem a bit bigger than Lichfield, I'd say. It's kind of a cross between Lichfield and Wakefield, because it's also got some of their northern vibes as well as the Midlands. Here we are approaching Trentfield City, and then Trentfield has another station on the main line called Trentfield Main Line Original. There we go. Again, I really like this roof asset. Really gives a nice historic station sort of feel. And yes, I did not add any more DLC requirements. I was pretty happy with the assets I had. Settle, Carlisle, Liverpool, Manchester had a great mix of rural and urban assets, which was just perfect for this route. So yeah, and they're both very cheap for whenever you get a Steam sale. Here we are, Trentfield City, and I'll take you into free cam so you can get a better view of what's in store for you. Overall, really nice to explore. There's a nice little market square there. I might get a town building asset pack so I can make it even better. And of course the 3 spires of the cathedral. And a nice pool next to it, and you've even got, there's Trentfield Mainline in the distance, which has a university campus. So that's nice. There's that industrial estate with the depot and the freight siding. So it's overall it's a much more complete map and much more worthwhile for making scenarios. Oh, I forgot to add buildings here. Oh well, I'll do that in another update. Doesn't really matter, you can't see it from the track, so it shouldn't matter too much now. But my building style is like exploration. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.